Here we go. Aloha, siblings. My name is Bill, and my pronouns are he, him, and his. Today's video, I'm going to do a show and tell. I'm going to show you that stuff. All that nonsense is, well, its primary purpose is actually for music, and but also, mics get used for ASMR too. First thing I'm going to do is take off these. These are glasses I wear for the computer. And these are my actual regular glasses. The problem is, yikes, that was super loud. I wonder how that came out for you guys. Yikes, okay. Yeah, these ones they fit better and all of that. But they're bifocals, right? So the reading thing, like the effectiveness of the reading thing is like not quite to the screen. And then the effectiveness of my regular prescription is that it's not, yeah, I like using the other ones. That's silly that it works out the way that it does, but that's what happens. Okay, I'm getting kind of excited because I'm showing off. And none of this stuff is super amazing. Well, most of it isn't super amazing. It's all pretty modest, really. I guess we'll start with these. Yeah. These are the AKG P420. Okay, there's lots of jokes to be had there about 420, obviously. But they are kind of their, I guess it's close to top of the line of their prosumer stuff, right? This one's not, yeah. That's all marketing, though, really. It's a fairly inexpensive large diaphragm mic, and I quite like them. I bought them because they were, well, modestly priced. And I think they do a pretty good job. And part of the reason I bought them, and I think I'm biased a little bit because I like the AKG 414s, and I can't afford those, though. Yeah. Anyway, here, I'll show you. So there you go. They come in these big, well, they're not big, but they're bigger than the mics, right? Here, let's do a little bit of, if you're going to have it up here, Bill, you might as well. I don't think I'm really all that good at tapping and stuff. Anyway. So, see, they open up, right? It looks like you might imagine. So it has a little basket guys that the mics sit in, go in this big part, and then the mics, of course, go in that big part. And I keep the desiccant stuff in there, just make sure they stay dry. So, I guess this is the next one. All right, so these are, they're made by Behringer. So they're, as if you know anything about stuff like this, then Behringer. They get quite a negative reputation, I suppose, because they, essentially what they do is they make copies of more expensive stuff super cheaply in China. And that's exactly what these are. These are very inexpensive, small diaphragm condenser microphones. Condenser microphones. These ones are large diaphragm condenser microphones. See, these are pretty much, yeah. I know, you can get a good look at them there. I don't know. They're really inexpensive. But I quite like them, frankly. They do a pretty good job. I think they're actually better for whispers than these. But, that's my take. Oh, here we go. Let's see if this will work. They also come with these little doodads. Ooh. Well, here in the room, that sounds pretty good. All right. That's a really good sound. I don't know why I've never noticed this before. Yeah, foam on foam is good. Have I known that all along and just forgotten about it? Seems so obvious, doesn't it? Or maybe it is obvious. And anyway, they also come with this little cool. Has two things you can mount their clips, right? You know, it's on there like that, and the microphones go in there. It's so that you can do stereo recording, right? Okay, let's put this back. Oh, here, I might as well show you there's how the inside of the case looks, right? Holy mackerel. I'm going to have all these weird little clicks and pops. I think I might have to edit out, but I guess we'll find out. Okay, I feel my mouth is getting a bit dry, so I have some tea. It's English Blend or something, I think the brand name. Well, yeah, Tetley, I think is the brand name. Yeah, it's okay. I have yet to have a really good cup of tea since I left the UK. Last time I was in the UK, they do tea well. And if you have any direct knowledge of the UK or England or any of that, or if you live there, I think you'll understand. I want a decent cup of tea, man. I haven't had one in a long time, since '98. Can you believe that? And the only place I've ever had a good cup of tea is in England. Okay, what's next? I don't know, let's go look at some hardware, I guess, huh? I'll bring one of these down too, I guess. How about let's not bang into the microphones, huh? Yikes. All these, every time I set something down, it seems like it's really loud. Anyway, I guess I'll just have to try to move slowly. Okay, so this is very much like the little stereo bar thing that was in the Behringer box, but this I bought separately. Partially because it's super adjustable, right? You can do things with next, and actually, I don't know if you can see it, how it's kind of got a hex shape. So you can take these off and, right, set them at different angles and things like that. And you can also loosen this thing. That's what screws onto the end of the mic stand, right there. And then I can do this, right? So it's super adjustable. That's why I like it. I don't know. Maybe someday I'll get actually decent at doing stereo binaural type recordings, and I'll be able to use this stuff more effectively. Yippee-yay, right? Okay. I hope I'm not being too on ASMR. I keep feeling like I'm getting all, ooh. All right, let's look at this thing. I like this thing quite a bit. It's a simple little gadget. Okay, see, it's a, I don't know if you can see what it's doing. Oops, let's get over in front of the camera, Bill. Right? What it is that piece there, that screws on again to the end of the mic stand, and you use that knob to tighten it. Well, no, you don't use, yeah, you do use it to tighten it, but not being on the mic stand. You know what I mean? You just screw it on and it's on the mic stand. Tightening it, I didn't mean to imply that it was on the mic stand, but it's on this bit, this swivelly bit. See, what you do is it's like a foot for a camera, and it lets you put it on a mic stand, and you can pretty much get any kind of angle, whatever you want, right? So I like these. I think I'm going to get a couple more because they work for, well, they work well for lots of stuff, but yeah, I should have at least two of them, you know. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. We'll get, you know, more gear is always fun. Okay. Have a little bit more tea. Okay. Next. What next? All right, here's another doodad. That this, so you can put this also is where you clamp this onto a mic stand on the basic, just on the shaft of it, right? And what this is, so there's like this little knob there, right? So you can unscrew that, and it's, I didn't unscrew it enough. I don't know if you can see there. See, it has, oops, I have no skill at holding things in front of a camera and having it make sense. Right, see the little teeth? I like that better than the friction thing. My other two mic stands, like the ones I'm using right now, that's the only other two I have. I like this teeth thing. Yeah, anyway. Right, so that's what that is. It's like a short arm for a mic stand. Yeah, that's about that. That's it. It just gives you more options on what to hook things up to or whatever. Okie doke. Okay. Okay, I don't use these enough, but I have two of them. And here it is. It's just a little modest little camcorder thing, right? It doesn't have there's no battery or memory card in it now, but yeah, I mean, it's tiny. It shoots decently. I mean, I'm not NBC and I'm not Disney and that sort of thing, right? So it's good enough for me, really. Okay, so this big blue box over my shoulder, so how can I get out of the way? Oopsie, there we go. See, it says Knudsen. That just has some spare cords and things in it. Back in the day, I don't know how many of you guys may or may not play in bands or have played in bands, but if you have, you probably know those little milk boxes. Technically, you're not supposed to keep them right there. I think they belong to Knudsen, and if you find them, you're supposed to give them back, kind of thing. Or I don't remember what the whole deal is, but I just know that you're not supposed to have them. But everybody has them, you know, because they're really sturdy and they're good for carrying gear around like crazy. Okay, so what's next? I guess. Here that's worth looking in. Not really. Well, let's, yeah, there's a couple. Why not just pull some junk out of here? Well, why not? Here we go. The rest of it is either duplicates or something. I don't know. Anyway. Okay. Here. This is just a piece of an old sweatshirt that I used to wipe off my guitars. I don't know why I grabbed that. It just amused me that it was there. These, a lot of you guys might recognize this little thing. These are little earplug thingamabobs. Right, you know, that they're really just primitive, weird kind of squeezy, foamy stuff that you put in your ear. You know, anyway, yeah, that's what we used to use back in the day, you know, when you had gigs. Here, let's see if I can. I don't know if that makes a good sound or not. It sounds kind of interesting here, but it seems like it might be one of those things that doesn't really translate well to recording. Well, let me know if let me show you what it is first. I don't know if you can see in it. Yeah, this is just various jack adapters. And while I'm showing off jars, I might as well do these too, because these might actually make better noise. And I don't know why I have two jars, but I do. they're both little cannabis jars, right? You know, but remember, cannabis is legal in California. And let's do one at a time. Yeah, let me know. That seems kind of neat to me, but it's all these kind of, is it going to make it for everybody, or is it just a weird thing? Oh, this is better. I like it because it has the sharp one and then the little tinkly one right after it. Ooh, that's kind of good. Anyway, this is, I won't open them both. I like the other one because it has more variety in it. That's where I keep my picks, is in these little jars. Let's see, I'll take out, all right, well, let's take all these out here. Okay, so what do I have? These. Okay, so I have some of these kind of clearish red ones. They're, you know, kind of transparent, and they are from Dunlop. I don't hear me. I don't know if you can. Oops, come on, Bill, get it. How come I can't? There we go. All right, I don't know if you can make that out or not, but there you go, I tried. I don't know if you can tell the thickness on these or not. These are reasonably heavy, medium maybe. They have an H for heavy, but well, you'll see in a second. Here's a Fender heavy. Right. Try to looking like tortoiseshell or something. And now here, I don't remember who makes these. This isn't really any thicker than the other two, frankly. But somehow it's stiffer, so it's a different kind of plastic. I really quite like this. But here's my other one that is my favorite. And I think it's, I'm not even sure who makes it. Anyway, I don't know if you can tell, but it's pretty transparent, and it's this kind of violet purplish. There, God, I almost got in there yet. Can you see that? Yeah. Anyway, can you see how thick that is? Yeah. It's much thicker than the others. I really, really like this. This is the only one of these I have. And I came by, I found it. Anyway, I should find out where they come from and get a bunch more, because I really like them. Plus they also, I don't know if you can see it, there's a little divot in there. Yeah, there you go. So it gives me a good spot to, you know, have my hand know what I'm doing, yeah. I like heavy picks. I feel like I have more control with heavy pick. All right, and I've got a couple of packs of strings. I've got 2 packs of Dean Markley. Oops, go the other way, Bill. They're both partial packs because strings break, right? And these 2 are unopened because you always got to have, you know, more strings. You're going to break strings. These are the Super Slinky from Ernie Ball, right? I'm not terribly picky about, you know, yeah, I'm not exclusive to any brand of strings. I mean, if it's a good string, it's a good string. I'm not, you know, can I play it? Will it bend? Will it hold tune? I mean, that's what I'm gonna. Okay. This I quite like. This is the strap I wear when I'm playing my Rickenbacker, if I wear it with a strap anyway, which I don't really do very often because of my back, but yeah, once in a while. And I'm not going to bring out the, here, I'll just bring out some of them. There's a power supply in the box too, but you've probably all seen power supplies. Yeah, these are the things that I, oops, how you hook up your stomp boxes, right? And I got a bunch of those, right? now I guess we look at stomp boxes. Now this one is actually a pretty inexpensive little doodad. I bought it a while back because it has a lot of built-in effects and it kind of makes an effort at modeling certain amps and stuff. But I bought it just so I'd have something that kind of, I could put headphones in it and sit around and play my guitar and it would be fun and I could have effects on it. But I've also ended up using it for recording a few times because some of the sounds are actually pretty good, you know? So, you know, there you go. Okay, let's show this one, just because this is such a weird thing. I don't use it because I just don't practice with it enough, and I find it difficult to use well. Okay, so, yeah, it's all dusty, you can see I don't use it much. I don't know, you can see. Anyway, it's a talk box. It's basically what that is it's a little amplifier, really. I don't know if you can see it in there. Can you see the little button in the center of the cone? It's a speaker in here that's behind this face, and it just, you know, faces up. And you plug your guitar in, right? The little jacks on the side and all that. And you have knobs. But what you do is it has this hose, right? So one end of the hose, here we go, this goes in here, right? So that the sound coming out of the speaker, the sound pressure wave in the air, gets transmitted or sent down the way or whatever through the hose. And you put it in your mouth, and then you go, you make, you know, change the shape of your mouth, wow, 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 right? And it affects the sound of the guitar sound, so you can make it sound like you're speaking with the guitar sound being the thing that's your speech. Think Peter Frampton, Do You Feel How I Feel, or Do You Feel, oh man, I can't remember the hook for it now. And that song, it's Talk Box, that's what he's using. And I just need to practice with it more, frankly. But I haven't had it that long either, but not long enough to acquire a bunch of dust. These, I guess. There's no real particular order in these. Let's go ahead and do this one, since I have it in my hand and all the other ones right there. Okay, so this is a floor pedal thing. But it's a preamp, but it's a pretty nice preamp. It has 2 channels, and it's got a bunch of nice I/O. It even has a MIDI switch there, so you can, you know, for channel switching and that kind of thing. And output, it has an XLR thing. Oops, where'd it go? Up, over this way. There we go. XLR, so you can go straight into a desk or you're recording, you know, the interface. Here's the gimmick, and I kind of got sucked into the gimmick. There's a freaking tube in there. You know, I don't know whether the tube thing really makes it sound any better, right? You know what I mean? In this case, anyway. I mean, I know lots of people go, "Oh, tube amps are the best." Well, whatever. This thing is pretty cool, though, regardless of the gimmicky tube inside of it. And I use it essentially as an amp because it has an effects loop and it has a cab sim on it, and I can go straight into my interface, right? So I just, you know, treat it like an amp. Okay, let's talk about this one here. This is the Grand Orbiter This is a phase shifter. And it does a lot of cool stuff. It's pretty, gives you a fair amount of control over how it's going to work. Yeah, you know, different. Oh, it also has a switch so that it'll do phase and vibrato. So if you don't want that, and you just want it to go wah, 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 that kind of thing, then it'll do that too. And it has 3 different, like, intensity. I guess there's a little 3-position switch that, you know, whatever. Okay. Actually, it's not intensity. What is, I guess it's a rate band, right? You know what I mean? Anyway, I like it. I like it. It's pretty cool. That kind of noise, right? Okay. Next is also Earthquaker. This is called Afterneath. It's a reverb that does lots of interesting stuff. You can get those kind of big, spooky sounds like, well, it does shimmery stuff. It does like gigantic halls sort of stuff. It does all kinds of crazy stuff. It's best at the weird, shimmery, oddball nonsense, though, really. Anyway, I do like it, though. And the last of the stomp boxes that I still own is my Wampler Tape Echo. It's actually a digital device, but he's got it. It really emulates a tape echo pretty well, I think, anyway. Good enough that it, you know, serves my purposes. Yeah, it's pretty cool. You know, because back in the day, I'm thinking 80s, that's when I was first starting to play in bands, and there would be guys that had Roland tape echoes. So one of the things that this is kind of trying to mimic or whatever. But they were super unreliable. They sound fantastic. They absolutely sound amazing, but they're unreliable, man. They break down and all kinds of stuff. I had people borrowing my, you know, foot pedals because, oh, my, you know, thing broke. Can I borrow your thing? Like, you know, multiple bands on one venue. You know what I mean? Yeah. Anyway, I really, really like it. Oh, and the cool thing is, with all you guys, oh, it's a digital delay. That's horrible. The untouched signal. Well, your signal goes through untouched, and it takes and does a delay part, and then it mixes that back in. So the only thing that's digital is the actual delay itself, not the main part of the clean or the dry part of your signal goes through, right? I hope that makes sense, but I think it's a really good idea. Yeah. Anyway. Okay, I think we're getting near the end of whatever, because I only have a couple of things to show you. Well, I think precisely 2. Yeah, it's kind of lukewarm now. That's not so great. Okay, let's go on with this stuff here. So this is the EVH, right, which is a company, well, Eddie Van Halen is what EVH stands for. And the company is a thing that was a joint venture between Eddie and Fender, FMIC, right? Where it was, he did like design and stuff like that, and a lot of the marketing-ish sort of stuff, and Fender made them, basically, right? This one's made in Indonesia, so it's the inexpensive one. I bought it mostly kind of on a whim, frankly, because it has a Floyd Rose, and although this one doesn't have the D tuna drop down thing, which is fine. I never used drop D. Anyway, I've never owned a Floyd Rose guitar, and I wanted to own a Floyd Rose guitar, so I bought that. But here's the thing: look at that top. It's a, you know, quilted maple-ish silken thing. Yeah. It's a veneer, to be sure. Although you can see that there's a bit of a maple top, and then the veneer on that, and it's a basswood, you know, main part of the body. However, I'm not one of those guys that's really all that thing into tone wood. Really, it's your hands and the pick that make the difference. Your hands, insofar as you pick in different spots of the neck, you get a different tone, and pickups are the ones that are actually sending the electrical signal to the thing. Those are, in my mind, the 2 most important factors of how a guitar sounds. Yeah, anyway, I really, really like it, though. I realized it was a modestly priced thing, but there's no sproutiness on the frets. You know what I mean? It's like, for an inexpensive guitar, this is amazing. I mean, this is a completely giggable thing, man. Well, I guess any guitar is giggable, isn't it? I mean, somebody made a comment like that when I mentioned this before, and yeah, you can play with whatever. I mean, Jimmy Page used one of those Dan Electros, right? And I think those are crappy guitars, Page being able to find a good way of using it is groovy for him, but I can't stand them. And now, anybody recognize that little goofy reference? Okay, so this is the Rickenbacker. This is an actual USA-made Rickenbacker from the 70s. I've had it since 83, so it was used when I got it. Okay, so I had an accident, or, well, that's a debatable thing. It fell over, and the pickguard, which was here, okay, I might hold it the wrong way there too. The pickguard over here, right, used to be this all white thing that's kind of double layered, and all the electronics and everything are housed on the pickguard, and the pickguard got completely destroyed, and I got really, really bummed out about it, whatever, but so I didn't have any money to replace the pickguard. And so I thought, well, until I can put the money together till the next payday or something like that, I decided I would just wire the pickups straight to the jack, right? So it would be like having all knobs on 10, essentially. And then you just have to do, it's this hand here with the pick that makes everything, what it's going to be like, right? Except for your fingering up here for the notes. But, and I kind of got to like it. So I never replaced the pickguard with, I have all the knobs and stuff, so I could absolutely. Knobs and wires and all that stuff, so I could put it back on if I got a new pickguard. But I don't know, I may not ever do it, just because I really, really like this. I think I might keep this and try to save money to just get another Rickenbacker, frankly. Although, I don't know what a new one would cost, a couple of grand, I imagine. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, oh, and this, I made the fractals. Well, yeah, I printed them up, and I got some clear plastic, from DAP plastic, right? Cut it out to pieces and glued the fractal on the back side of it. So right? And there you go. It's a hippie, trippy, whatever the hell you want to hear. So I really quite like it. But as far as the guitar goes here, you can see. All right, well, I'll just, okay, so it's, you get pretty good, all the way up. You can reach whatever you hell you want. But it's a thin neck this way, right? It's a thin neck this way, right? And I don't know if you can see there or not, but the action is super, super low. This thing just plays like it's amazing. A lot of people don't like how narrow the neck is. They find it difficult to chord. I don't. It suits me fine. It's maple. The entire thing is maple. Maple neck through neck. Excuse me, maple through neck, right? So it goes through the body all the way to the, where that is, right? So it's all one big piece of maple that goes up, and then the wings are also maple. That would be on the side. You can't really see it because, this is painted black. Yeah, painted black, right? Okay. I hope this was still pretty cool and groovy and mellow for you guys, because I know I got a little kind of, ooh, look at my gadgets, and I hope I didn't get too loud or non-ASMR-ish. I guess I'll find out when I go to edit this, won't I? I think I'm going to go ahead and call that done. It's a little over 34 minutes and some seconds counting. Is there anything else I want to do shortly before I go that's really important to show you guys or anything like that? Here's the thing. If it comes to mind, I'll just have to make another show and tell video, won't I? So, all right. Aloha, siblings.